Bought this as my first surge protector and it's working great. I had one of these in my office, sitting on the floor, when a pipe broke and flooded my office. When we got there, it had melted. But none of the items that were plugged into it was damaged at all. I am amazed, and will buy another one. I have a picture if you don't believe me. I really like these. At times I have to plug stuff in that seems to take up 2 slots. This has one side for regular size plugs and the other side for those items that are big and bulky. I'm mainly posting this review to clear up some misinformation that appears to be given. First off, I work in IT mostly with computer networking, and I also have a degree in computer networking, so I'd hope I could get this right. More than a couple reviewers complained that their networking speeds were not rated. This was discouraging since that's a very important line to protect. The first thing I tried was plugging a computer into the RJ45 input, and another computer directly into the RJ45 output of the Tripp Lite device. Windows file transfers between showed a consistent speed of around 10 to 11 megabytes per second, which is consistent with that of fast Ethernet, 10 to 11 megabytes per second, but I thought the website said 100 megabits per second? Well, it does say that. The problem is nobody specifies clear distinctions between the two, so most average users will not know there are 2 ways to measure speed in terms of networking, megabytes and megabits per second. True networking standards use megabits, but operating systems like Windows use megabytes to measure networking speeds, same with web browsers. Basically, although the Tripp Lite device can do 100 megabits per second, that's only 100 megabits per second, not 100 megabytes per second. When Windows says it can transfer a file to the other computer at 10 megabytes per second, that means it is transferring right around 100 megabits per second, but real-world transfer speeds, which is exactly what it's rated for. There are only 8 bits in a byte, so it's only like 80 to 88 megabits per second in reality. Windows shows 11 megabytes per second at peak, so 88 megabits per second is the absolute fastest I have ever witnessed. I have transferred files on countless computers and different types of fast Ethernet switches. Not a single one has ever gone faster than 10 to 11 megabytes per second on average, which is literally only 88 megabits per second. My guess is some users are used to gigabit speeds, since many home routers/switches have gigabit speeds. They may have thought that because Windows shows 100 megabytes per second speeds for a gigabit normally, that Tripp Lite should also do the same speeds at 100 megabits per second. Unfortunately, this is not true. My testing from PC to PC shows this unit has no problem performing at the specifications listed by Tripp. The speed test in the picture below shows it could literally go up to 80 megabits per second. Like I said, this is almost pushing the real-world limits, so I'm extremely happy with this device. As for the rest of the device, it's a great unit. I highly recommend this to anyone who has something they see using this Tripp Lite 8 for home entertainment center electric cord management. Click link in description for more reviews.